Class, I told you I was going to send you a short video on Chapter 10, Section 4, and this is it. If you turn to your exercises on page 560 of that section, I'd like to look at number 9 with you. It says a committee of 4 congressmen will be selected from a group of 7 Democrats and 3 Republicans. 7 Democrats, 3 Republicans. Find the number of ways of obtaining each result. And number 9 says exactly 1 Democrat. Okay, so we're choosing 4 congressmen from 7 Democrats and 3 Republicans. And on this first one, we want to know how many ways we could choose 1 Democrat. How many ways can that happen? So one way to look at this problem is we could draw a blank for the number of ways that the Democrats can occur and multiply that by the number of ways the Republicans can occur. Okay, so let's think about the Democrats first. So I'm thinking about these 7 Democrats, and I'm going to choose 1 of them. So I'd ask, is repetition allowed? Well, obviously not, because you're only choosing 1. And plus, the same person wouldn't serve more than 1 position anyway. And second, does order matter? Well, again, you're only choosing 1, so order doesn't matter. Plus, even if you were choosing more than 1, you're talking about a committee. Now, in a committee, it doesn't matter what order you pick the members in. You have the same committee either way. So since repetition is not allowed and order doesn't matter, I could use a combination. I'm choosing from 7, and I'm choosing 1 for the Democrats. Now for the Republicans, the line of thinking goes the same way. Repetition is not allowed. We're not going to let 1 person serve more than 1 position on the committee. And order wouldn't matter. In other words, if I chose Alan, then Bill, then David, that's the same thing as choosing Bill, then Alan, then David. It's the same committee either way. So for that, I have a combination then of I'm choosing from 3 and I'm choosing all 3. Okay, that's number 9. Now number 10 is the same problem, except now we want to choose 2 Democrats. So a blank for the Democrats, a blank for the Republicans. If we consider the Democrats first, again, repetition would not be allowed. Order would not matter. So it'd be a combination. I'm choosing from 7, but now I'm choosing 2 Democrats. And so for the Republicans, I'd still have a combination. I'm choosing from 3 Republicans, but since I only want 4 on the committee, now I'm only choosing 2 Republicans. So problems 11 and 12 are about how many ways could you choose the committee of 4 with 3 Democrats and then 4 Democrats. So those 2 problems are going to be homework problems here in just a moment. I also want to look at number 13. Suppose 8 fair coins are tossed. Find the number of ways of obtaining each result. And number 13 says exactly 3 heads. Let's think about it. I'm going to toss 8 coins. So I'm going to give each one of these blanks a number. And I want to know how many ways I could get exactly 3 heads. Well, sometimes when you start with one problem and you think through it, you end up with a different problem. Let me illustrate what I mean. Let's think about some of the ways that we could get 3 heads. Well, we could get 3 heads in positions 1, 2, and 3, and then everything else would be tails. So 1, 2, 3 would be one way to get it. Okay, or if I didn't get a head in blank 3, I could get a head in blank 4. So 1, 2, 4, and everything else tails would be another way to get it. And if you stop and think about it, there's a whole bunch of ways to get, because maybe I don't get a head in blank 2. Maybe I get a head back here in blank 7. So 1, 4, 7 would be a possibility. But wait a minute, maybe I don't get a head in blank 1. Maybe I get a head in blank 6. So 4, 6, 7 would be a possibility. So if you stop and think about it, what's really happening here is the number of ways to get 3 heads would be the number of ways that I could pick 3 of these numbers out of the 8. So that is the equivalent problem to the original problem that's easier. How many ways can I pick 3 of these numbers out of the 8? Okay, so let's ask that question. Is repetition allowed? No. Does order matter? No. Order wouldn't matter, because if I had heads in blanks 4, 6, and 7, that'd be equivalent to having heads in blanks 4, 7, and 6. They're still in the same 3 spots. So since order wouldn't matter, I have a combination of 8 things that I'm choosing 3 at a time, whatever that's equal to. Now number 14 says, how many ways can I get exactly 4 heads? So now, instead of choosing 3 of these numbers down here, I would be choosing 4. So in other words, I'd be putting a head in some 4th blank. Maybe it's blank 1, maybe it's some other blank. So for number 14, instead of having a combination of 8 things 3 at a time, I'd have a combination of 8 things 4 at a time. Now you're going to have problems 15 and 16. So your assignment for Chapter 10, Section 4, it's going to be 8 problems. 4 of them we just did. So you'll just have to repeat those. So on page 560, work problems 9 through 16.